Well, hello internets, here we are. Have ourselves a little bit, a vlog on a topic that, is kicking around in my mind once again. So I guess here we go, and yeah, welcome to our vlog. Well, it's been a year, 1 year later. If y'all are wondering what I'm talking about, well, I'm about to tell ya. As you know, I'm renting an apartment after many years of owning my own home. No, this is not my first apartment since leaving my house. This is the second apartment. My first apartment was okay. It was a stepping stone in the direction that I'm heading. However, it wasn't a place to rent for a longer period of time. This one here, I moved in the fall of 2020. Essentially during the height, per se, of the panic that was going around. I was expecting there to be a whole lot more issues and problems with moving during a pandemic. However, moving during a pandemic was essentially moving just like during a normal time, with the exception that everybody was all paranoid about something they could not see. I found an apartment here in town, an older building, not nearly as run down or so as the one that I moved out of. Inquired about an apartment and set up a viewing. They showed me potentially pictures of units, and then they showed me a unit over here in the building that I'm currently living in. They started heading up to the third floor, and I'm like, no, I want to be on the ground floor or maybe the second floor max. So he started to turn around and go back to the ground floor suite that was empty. And he says, you know, the third floor suite where we have a special on. And the third floor suite was like, I forget what it was, $90 or $100 less than the ground floor suite. So I thought, well, you know, $90, right? A guy could bank that $90 this year, every month, and potentially have $1,000 to use next spring for camping or projects or whatever. I thought, you know, moving up to the third floor, it's going to be a pain to bring groceries up. It's going to be an issue to do the stairs for me. However, after a year of being here on the third floor, the stairs weren't nowhere near as big as an issue as I thought they were going to be. If anything, the third floor stairs have allowed me to push myself to be more active than I was. Living in a house, you really don't have many stairs. And then moving to the second floor apartment in the old complex I used to live in, you only had one flight of stairs because the apartment was not as tall as most second floors were. And then moving to the third floor, I essentially had 2 more flights of stairs, or 2.5 more flights of stairs than I previously did. So like I said, it forces you to be a little more active. I was in this apartment for probably 3 weeks, maybe a month, probably 3 weeks or so. one evening around 9 o'clock or quarter after 9, I smelt something cooking. I thought it was somebody using their smoker or using their grill with some of those fancy flavored wood chips that people do. However, the wood chip smell quickly turned to a burning kind of plasticky smell, and I paused the 20-minute video that I was watching and looked out the patio door. Lo and behold, there was a fire. There was a fire, yeah. I'm on the 3rd floor with 2 animals, all my stuff, all my worldly possessions per se on the 3rd floor. And the apartment is on fire around me. Basically, not quite, but at that time of night, you don't know what to expect, right? When you looked over the railing and all you seen was a wall of flame, you're like, do I gotta jump off the balcony? Do I gotta scale out the window here and run along the roof line and jump down the tree at the far end? You know, what does a guy do, right? So I grabbed my cat and my dog, jam the cat in the cat carrier and put the dog on the leash, called 911, and well, head out, right? As I get to the truck, I look, and the 2nd floor apartment's on fire. Not the 2nd floor one below me, that I live on the 3rd floor. The 2nd floor apartment above the 1-bedroom apartment that I chose not to take. It's kind of weird, the choices we make. We may not understand them at the time, but things work out for a reason. They happen for a reason. Had I took that 1-bedroom apartment because I wanted to have my bicycle and my recycling trailer during this year that I had hopes of picking up recycling, chances are I probably wouldn't have used the bicycle trailer because of everything that has gone on health-wise with me. But living on the ground floor was what I had intended to do, what I went to do, and what I set to do. However, I changed my mind and ended up on the 3rd floor. Had I went to the ground floor, I would have probably lost pretty much everything. Because when the fire department came, they had to use a lot of water to put the fire out that had now spread to the 3rd floor suite. And all that water went right down into the ground floor. It didn't come into the hallways. The hallways were dry. The hallway had a little bit of smoke into the common hallway. So that water had to go somewhere, and it would have went straight down into the ground floor suite that I would have been living in and almost unpacked for the better part or so of 3 weeks to a month. You know, the complex is an older complex. It does have some scars from irresponsible past tenants. There have been some interruptions from surrounding tenants having parties and such, but you know, it is what it is. You kind of let them do their thing, and eventually somebody else calls it in, so you don't even have to call it in. I would imagine if it did get to be ongoing, you could probably call it in yourself and hopefully not really face too many issues. You know, the snow was maintained and shoveled fairly well this winter. They have kept the lawn mowed and the garbage cleaned up. They have kept an eye on the problem tenants and you know, evicted those that have caused issues. I knew the time was coming for me to renew my lease, and I started to get notifications, emails and text messages from, I'm assuming, an automated system that says, you know, your lease is coming up, contact us for renewal. And I put it off and put it off for the better part of a month and a half, almost 2 months, because I wasn't entirely sure what the next chapter here holds. Was I going to move somewhere? Was I going to find a room and board type of situation? Was I going to pack all my valuable things like laptop and computer and, you know, my clothes, and hop in the truck and trailer and move out west where it doesn't get to be minus 50 in the winter? So after some reflection on some camping trips that I went on, once again, I was able to make up my mind to sign a lease again for 1 more year. I have no idea what the future holds, so I took this small little lateral step just to prolong things for another year. However, of course, as things change, expenses rise, landlords have to put the rent up, and my rent has now gone up. Essentially, the discount that I was facing because I took the 3rd floor apartment is no longer available now for another year. So as a result of my rent going up, I have had to make some changes in my life, cut some of my expenses back, disconnect my cable because I really wasn't getting the full use out of the monthly cable expense fee. You know, maybe slowing down on the whole YouTube thing, maybe using my older cameras here for as long as possible until they break before going out and splurging and buying new cameras, just because these ones are, you know, getting on to be 7, 8, 12 years old, stuff like that. I suppose if it works and it's not broke, don't fix it, right? Kind of do what you can to get by for another year, reevaluate things, and see where we sit then. Thanks for joining us on this here vlog, and as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's vlog. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.